On Now TV, a new Turkish series titled Aynadaki Yabancı has premiered, and in just 2 episodes, it has already transformed into the most enigmatic drama of the season. It is a Turkish adaptation of the Korean series Let Me Introduce Her. And in this episode, I'll tell you all the plot lines of the series and the main spoilers.
Our story is ready to begin. Are you ready to become an effective partner?
In the new Turkish series, Aynadaki Yabancı, everything begins with a picture-perfect image. Azra Karaaslan is the young wife of an influential businessman. Her home appears impeccable, crystal glassware, perfect order, restrained dinners and cold glances. The Karaaslan family seems like the epitome of success. But beneath this world lurks a fear that can't be hidden under beautiful dresses and smiles. Emirhan, the head of the family, is accustomed to managing people like objects. In this house, he decides who breathes, when, and how. Even the walls seem to belong to him, and the surveillance cameras aren't there for security. They watch for anyone who dares to disrupt the order. The servants know there's a place they must never peek into. The dark room, a small space at the end of the corridor where Emirhan goes every day, sometimes alone, sometimes with the maid. No one asks questions. None of the women he took there ever mentioned the place. In this house, too much is held together by silence. One day, Emirhan's mother, a woman accustomed to knowing everything, decides to check the camera footage. She always did this out of curiosity, suspicion, or a desire to control. But this time, it's different. On the screen, Azra appears. She walks down the corridor slowly, as if sneaking, with a key in her hand. The woman stops in front of that very door. A few seconds of silence, and the door opens. The camera captures Azra entering, a long, sticky wait, and finally the door swings open again. Azra emerges, pale as ash, with trembling hands. She looks straight into the camera lens, as if she knows she's being watched, and clutches her phone. A red recording light flashes on the screen. Emirhan's mother understands everything. Azra entered where no one should go. She filmed what happens in that room, and now she holds not just evidence, but a death sentence. Silence is no longer possible, and with it comes fear, fear that can no longer be hidden. From that day, Azra's life crumbles. She avoids her husband, doesn't answer questions, doesn't sleep at night. It seems she's constantly listening to the silence, as if someone is standing behind the wall. When Emirhan disappears for a few hours, she gathers her daughter, gets into the car, and drives away, leaving no notes, not looking back. It's an escape. Hastily planned, but an escape nonetheless. She knows if Emirhan finds out she filmed what was in that room, he won't spare her. But the escape fails. A few hours later, Emirhan finds the car on the highway. The daughter sits in the back seat. Azra is gone. No one knows how she managed to slip away, where she went, what happened on the road. Later, the news reports an accident near the city. A woman is found alive but unconscious. She is rushed to a plastic surgery clinic where Dr. Barış Saygıner is on duty. Barış is a man accustomed to others' secrets. He knows how to change faces, but not how to restore what's beneath the skin. Azra wakes up in his ward, disoriented, broken, without a future, and then she asks for the impossible. To give her a different face, erase her past, give her a chance to disappear. He refuses. He says it's madness, that you can't run from yourself. Then Azra goes to the roof and says if he won't help, she'll simply step off. Wind, screams, confusion. And in that moment, Barış realizes she means it. He saves her and agrees. Defne is born. A woman with a new face, without memory, without a past. After the surgery, Azra loses everything that tied her to her former life. Her name, her daughter, her home, the reason she dared to do this. All that's left is a vague sense of anxiety, strange dreams, and a reflection in the mirror that feels alien. Barış takes her home with him. He sees fragility in her that he wants to protect. A quiet attachment forms between them, warm, almost tender, but with each day more questions hang in the air. Who is she? Who did she run from? Why does she sometimes flinch at the sound of footsteps in the corridor? Defne decides to start a new life, get a job, and fate leads her right back to where it all began. She arrives at a wealthy home to care for a child. But as she crosses the threshold, her breath catches. Everything here feels painfully familiar. The smell of the furniture, the light in the corridor, the pattern on the walls. And somewhere ahead, around the corner, stands the door. That very one. Closed, cold, silent. Emirhan doesn't recognize her. He looks at her with interest, but without recognition. His mother stays silent, though inside everything tightens. There's something terrifyingly familiar about this woman. And only the viewer understands. Everything is returning to where it once began, to the house where every mirror remembers who looked into it. The deeper Defne embeds herself in her new life, the more images appear in her dreams that don't belong to the present. The same house, children's laughter, crying behind the wall, a man's silhouette in the doorway. Sometimes it feels like she's already been here, in this living room, in this garden, at this window. She touches the curtains and suddenly senses. The fabric is familiar. Memory returns not as recollections, but as pain. Barış notices the changes. The woman he saved is growing more anxious. She wakes up at night, stares in the mirror, whispers a name to herself that she can't recall. He feels like he's losing her, not because she's leaving, but because she's returning to a place where he has no room. Meanwhile, tension builds in the Karaaslan house. Emirhan increasingly locks himself in his room, offering no explanations for what he's doing. He endlessly watches old footage, as if searching for something. His mother lives in fear that the truth about that night will come out, and everything she's hidden will destroy the family. The servants whisper, the master has become like he used to be. Cold, irritable, dangerous. And the new assistant senses the threat. It seems to her that Defne sees too much, lingers too long by the closed door. She starts watching her. Meanwhile, Defne, still unaware of who she is, begins to bond with the little girl, the host's daughter. A natural closeness forms between them that no one can explain. The girl says, "You smell like mommy." Each episode now builds on the collision of past and present. Flashes of the escape night are shown in parallel. Short clips, screams, headlight flashes, a woman's hand with a phone, a blinking red recording light. What exactly was filmed isn't clear yet. But one thing is clear. Azra saw not just infidelity. Something happened in that room that can't be forgiven, something that could destroy Emirhan. By mid-season, the truth starts seeping out. Emirhan's mother can no longer withstand the pressure and confesses to a priest that on that night she saw everything and helped her son cover the traces. Barış finds an old medical record for Defne, listing her real name, Azra Karaaslan. And now he understands who he saved, a woman who fled not from love, but from death. In one scene, Barış comes face to face with Emirhan. Their meeting is cold, almost businesslike. Emirhan recognizes him, the surgeon who performed the operation. He smiles and says, "You gave her a new face, and I'll give her back her old fate." From this moment, the series turns into a psychological thriller. Defne increasingly hears strange sounds in the house. Footsteps behind the door, children's cries, the noise of an opening camera. She walks down the corridor and sees her reflection in the mirror, but the reflection moves differently from her. Later, she finds the video, an unnamed file. On the screen, herself with her former face, frightened, trembling. Behind her, Emirhan, his shadow covering the entire frame. It turns out Emirhan takes women there and performs forbidden acts, punishes and torments them. And here begins the climax. Emirhan realizes his wife has returned, even with a different face. He starts a game, first observing, then slowly drawing her in. Azra, after the plastic surgery and amnesia, gradually regains memories and flashbacks. Her fairy tale life in the Karaaslan mansion is a prison of abuse from Emirhan, who not only beat her but manipulated Layla so the daughter would see her mother as crazy. The secret room in the basement reveals recordings of beatings, photos of the old Azra, and even forged documents falsified by Mughal to commit Azra to a psychiatric ward. Azra decides to act. She gathers evidence and hands it over to the police. Everything comes out. The secret room, the recordings, the blackmail, the affairs. Emirhan's mother, who turned a blind eye for so long, finally realizes that all these years, she's been protecting a monster. Together with the police, she helps arrest her son, understanding it's the only way to save her granddaughter. Emirhan is arrested right in his home. He screams, denies it, but the video filmed by Azra becomes the decisive proof. His mistress and accomplice Farideh also comes under investigation. Azra reunites with her daughter. For the first time, she speaks to her not as a victim, but as a mother who has stopped being afraid. The series finale is quiet, but powerful. Azra sits on a bench by the sea. Beside her are Barış and her daughter. She no longer hides under a false name, no longer fears her reflection. The final episodes, based on the original, promise not a standard resolution. In the original, the heroine regains her memory and exposes her husband's crimes, but pays too high a price for it. In the Turkish version, everything will be different. More drama, more internal conflict, less morality. The creators hint, not everyone will survive, and the dark room is not just a place but a symbol. It hides not a fact, but the essence of the entire story. When the truth comes out, the mirror will shatter, and everyone who looked into it will see their own face, without masks, without protection, without the right to salvation.